check that out. Woo. Cutting it tight today. Welcome back to M Hood Fishing, everybody. It is just after 5:30. Sunset is at 6:35. So yeah, cutting it tight. Look at this. This is the Mississippi River. It's not far from where I live. So yeah, instead of doing some long journey today, since I didn't have a lot of time till sunset, we're back here on the river close to the house in Belle Chasse. There are a lot of spots along here to choose from. Some I have fished and some I have not. Let's take an e-bike ride. Looks like we might see some rain, but it's not in the forecast. Rain is not a good thing for the Hemingway, but there are things you can do about that. So let's go. Mechanical disc brakes working. Yeah, you're right. Here we go. I'm only in pedal assist level 1. It kicks me up to about 12 miles. We're gonna check out a spot here. There's, looks like a dog swimming out there. Hope that's a dog. Yeah, it's a dog. First spot, not gonna work out, so we're gonna keep going along this dirt road. A little rough right there. All right. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Here we go. I believe the tide is out. This part of the river is tidal. I just wanted to walk down here and look at this. This is pretty sinky mud right there, I believe. As you can see, someone's already been down here with their ATV. You see this right here, what looks like a wall sticking up? That is revetment. Let's see if we can get out to it without sinking too bad. Oh, very nice. We can get out here. Check it out. It's these blocks of concrete that are tied together by this wire, this cable, and wire like this. See how it's all messed up? It doesn't lay perfect when they put it out. It does get buried by sediment. As you can see, there's bound to be a lot underneath this mud. We see that's what you get hung on in places like this. Good example of revetment here. The irony of my life right now is that I live really, really close to the river. I've got a lot of access to the river, not just this one spot, this one beach that we're on. A lot. There's a lot of river I can go to, but it's got revetment. It's mostly snaggy, but there are some exceptions. There are some spots that are not too bad. This spot we were at a couple of nights ago, you remember this? Well, it was dark when I was here and I was fishing for eel, and I've been around here before. So we're going to just sit out here and see what we can do. I brought rods with just mono today. I've got a rod for bigger pieces of cut bait, and we're going to fish shrimp. Similar session. Let's see how it goes. We're starting earlier. All right. So I am planning on making a separate video dedicated just to the bike, but a lot of people are like, oh, they're not waterproof, they're not water resistant, and that is true. I was aware of that fact before the purchase, and there are a lot of reasons why I went ahead and pulled the trigger on this purchase, and I'll go into that in another video. But I wanted to go into something real quick about what you can do to avoid moisture causing you problems when you're out. I got stuck in a conversation with Roger, but it was a good conversation. He's going off on that three-wheeler. So if you want to avoid any problems, if it starts raining and you got one of these, you need a couple of these. The biggest issue is when the console gets wet, the readout screen. So you need a rubber band and one of these sandwich baggies. Keep that on there. And the same thing for this too. So you don't want the battery to get soaking wet. And you know, I don't like to fish in the rain, but I am in southeast Louisiana. It could rain. It's not supposed to. So if it does start to rain, we're covering these things and we're taking off. Like I said, two baits. We got fresh shrimp and we have cut bait. We're gonna put out a headpiece to start. So the rig is a slip rig. mono 40-pound test is the main line. Just put that on earlier. We got the 3 ounces of lead. It's a no roll. Got the bead. 50-pound mono is the leader though, and we're going to use a 9/0 octopus hook to start. There we go. If you look in front of us at the pylons, you'll see that the tide has dropped the water here by about a foot, a little less than that maybe. So what I want to do with this, even though this is that spot that has something in the water that snags you here and there and cuts your line here and there, I don't want to put it out too far, but I want to put it out about right there, even with this structure, but to the right of it. Don't want to fish on top of that because I think there's something there we might hit. Now, if you look at this structure here, if you look at the top, you'll see something coming off, kind of drooping to off the right side going down. There could be a cable. That might be what was cutting the braid earlier, right into my sand spike. Now, I think we're in a decent depth of water here, maybe about 20 feet, because there is a drop off that we are just over, but we're not too far out. You'd be surprised what kind of monsters can be close in. Just like last night on the canal, I'm only going to fish small pieces of shrimp on the shrimp line. The rig for the shrimp is exactly the same as it was in last night's video. Got a 2/0 Kahle, 20-pound mono is the leader. We're still rocking out with 1 ounces of lead on it's a no roll, and high vis line is 20-pound slime line. I'm gonna fish this shrimp right in front of us, fairly close, about maybe 20 feet out. See if we can pick up anything right there, like the last time I fished in this area like this. Okay, on that headpiece, nice. I just put that shrimp back out and this hit. There was no warning, it just went down. I think there's a pretty good drop off right here. Like I was saying, maybe we picked this fish up out of 20 feet of water. Adjust my drag a little bit. Oh, nice run right here. Decent gaff top. That's a good sized gaff top. Just kind of ski him up into here. Yeah, you're right. Pretty decent. Nice catch. Here you go. Pretty much the same spot as before. Hopefully coming out here with mono will be a better idea than braid. Plus, if you remember, when I was having problems here with the braid, I was much further past this structure here than I am today. Still in a decent depth of water though. It's looking grimmer and grimmer and darker the more I stay here, but still the forecast says no rain. Oh, not good to have the e-bike in a heavy downpour, but it's just not saying it. But we got those sandwich bags, and if the weather forecast changes, I am out of here, because yeah, a lot of e-bikes, you'd be surprised, a lot of e-bikes around this range and much cheaper than this are just, they can't take rain. And then once you get up there in price for e-bikes, it's just like, I'm not gonna pay that. And you'll get drawbacks with like more expensive e-bikes. It'll be like, well, that one has hydraulic brakes, and to tell the truth, hydraulic brakes and e-bikes don't go together. It just a lot of these more expensive bikes or cheaper bikes that have hydraulic brakes have a lot of problems with those brakes. They fail all the time. I guess I'll talk a little bit more about the e-bike. I know everybody wants me to. The biggest reason why I pulled the trigger on that Himaway over there is because of its price range and its specs and its mileage range. Pretty much I'm getting a lot for what I paid. I'm getting some good specs. I got mechanical brakes. I've got a possible range of 50 miles. That means 25 miles out, 25 miles in. I've got a good battery. I've got the fat tires. It's a decent bike. Like I said, a lot of e-bikes at that price range and cheaper than it, and some over that price range, have issues with moisture, and you can do things to protect them. So that particular e-bike has a 750 watt motor, and that is pretty much the bare minimum you need if you're going to haul a trailer with a lot of weight. I think you could get away with another motor that's like, say, 350, because I know someone who has a 350 and they want to start hauling, but it's going to take a lot of your battery to do that and a lot of wear and tear on the bike. But that guy's not going to do as much as I do. He's only, you know, to go get groceries and stuff. So for someone like me, I need at least 750 watts. And when it comes to regulations and laws in states around e-bikes, that's about what you're going to be able to get. Now, you can find kits that will get you over 750 watts, but when you buy a pre-made bike like this, usually it's about 750 watts. And that's what this is, 750 watts with pedal assist, which I mostly use, and there's a throttle. But some states outlaw the throttle, so, you know, just roll the dice there. So because I have a fairly powerful motor at 750 watts, I can haul my trailer with my gear without eating into my battery too much or my mileage. I can still get good mileage. A lot of the things I do around here are not even anywhere near the maximum range I have on the e-bike. So it's just perfect. You just have to guard against getting it soaking wet. You're not going to go swimming with it, right? Wow, looks like we're just going to talk the sunset out. I mean, it's pretty much set, and it's going to be dark here soon. Low tide's not always very productive when you're fishing close in. I would prefer to be further out, but further out at this spot is not always, it's not really a good idea. There's a lot of revetment to hit out there and something that cuts the line. I know. Okay. I think it's leaving. I hope it is. It's definitely churning up a lot of water, causing some issues right now. Yes. I was trying to change the battery out. Started getting a bite on this cut bait here. Gave me a slack line. I've figured out that this is a spot where you do not want a slack line. If you see it, you've got to take care of it real quick, because the current will suck the line into something and that could be game over right there. Yes. We've got something with some shoulders on it right now. This session has been really uneventful up until now. It is like after 8:30 right now too. I've been out here for what feels like a good while, but not very long. I was contemplating leaving. I was actually going to take off here real soon, like in 5 minutes from now, but now we're pulling in a fish. It's anybody's guess what we have here, but ooh. Oh, did you hear that? That was beaver tail action. Haven't had that in a while. Not quite like this. This is a nice cat, I think. Oh, yes. We're gonna have to go out there to meet this fish. He's a netter. Got him. Nice. It's a little hog. I just had to weigh this fish. It's the biggest thing I've caught at this spot so far. It's about 19 pounds, 18.94. Yeah, you're right. It's a pretty decent fish to close this session out on. Got me all wet. He's decent. We're gonna let this one go because I've got other things to do. Wasn't planning on keeping fish today, which I know I don't do a lot of. There he goes. Calling it right here. Gonna take an early night because that was really uneventful. I might fish with someone else actually here in a little bit. But we got something nice. This is the nicest blue cat I've got out of that spot. That's not the only one I've got out of there, is it? Maybe it is. But yeah, you're right. Now we know a little more about the e-bike. I'll do another video about it. This really wasn't a planned video about the e-bike. Just me kind of trying to get a session in before it's too late. Yeah, you're right. All right, guys, thanks for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you next time.